Okay, so welcome to lecture once again, guys. Now, in this lecture, I'll be talking about file context manager, and obviously, it's related to things that we already discussed with respect to a file reading, writing, and append operation. Again, many more operation that we have discussed around the file system. So let me share my screen and let's start talking about this file context manager. And it's nothing new, by the way, but yeah, so it's something which we are going to add on top of our existing knowledge. For example, so if I have to open up a file, right? If I have to open up a file, so I can try to call this open, and then I can try to write maybe a test.txt, something like that we used to write. And then it is going to open up a file into a read mode, into a write mode, or in whatever mode that we want. So let's suppose if I'm trying to open up this file into a write mode, obviously I can try to open it up, and then after opening up a file into a write mode, I can try to perform a write operation inside this one. So I can try to write that this is my test file, and then when I go and check my test.txt, so it is not going to reflect data, right? Whatever I'm trying to write, unless and until I'm not going to call a close over here. So once I'm going to call a close, then only it is going to write a data. It is going to persist a data inside this particular file. Now, this is what is going to happen if we are going to do this operation in this fashion. Now, so what if we don't want to call a close? What if we wanted to do something from a system side itself, so that it will be able to save the entire data set without even calling a close? This is where this file context manager comes into a picture. So it's a very little of addition that we are going to do on our existing knowledge base. So here, instead of writing these three lines, so open, write, and close, what we can do over here is that we can start with the keyword called as with, right? And same function, open function, similar kind of a nomenclature of this function. So test.txt file name, and then I can try to provide a mode over here, and then I can try to provide an alias. So whatever alias, whatever name that you would like to give, just give that as an alias. So with open, now with open as file, and then I can try to do what? So alias is f, so f.write, basically f.write. And I'm going to write that this is a file context manager I am implementing, execute. So see, here I have called file.write. So this operation I have called, but I have not called any kind of a close operation. But still, if I'll go and check my file, so data is reflected, right? So data is persisted inside a file. This is the advantage you will be able to get with respect to a file context manager. This is how this file context manager is, by the way, going to work. Doesn't matter what kind of operation you are going to perform, what kind of operation you are going to do, but yeah, so it is going to behave in this way. So a file context manager starts with always a with keyword. Now, if I'm going to write with open, right, with open, and then here, so maybe test.txt, and maybe into a read mode. So as f, I can try to write over here, then f.read, right, f.read over here, and yeah, so I can try to execute it. It will be able to read data. It will be able to read a data, and then whatever data that we are able to read, I can try to print those data. So for example, if I'm trying to read this, so maybe I can try to call print function on top of this one, so that I can visualize the data, and bingo, I'm able to see the data, right? I'm able to see the data. Even I can try to call maybe read a data, but maybe just try to read a first 10 bytes of the data, first 10 characters, just try to read it out. So yes, it is going to even work in that particular manner. Simple, right? Simple. So I will be able to perform a read operation. I will be able to perform a write operation. I will be able to perform a R plus operation, which is read and write. And I will be able to perform W plus, which is write and read operation. I will be able to perform a read binary operation, write binary operation, everything that we have done, it is going to perform. The only thing is we have to write this one in this fashion with the help of this with keyword. That's the only changes I'm talking about. Apart from that, there is no changes. Even logically, you will be able to find out with respect to a seek, with pointers basically, right? With respect to a seek, with respect to tell, everything is absolutely same. Absolutely same is absolutely same. So hope all of you are able to understand this file context manager. And with that, thank you so much everyone. Take care and see you again in my next lecture.